Hello and welcome back to our new quick video where we are covering CA Foundation exam concepts or topics in a quick and practical manner. So without wasting much time, let's get back to video. So we were continuing chapter 2 theory of demand and supply of CA Foundation business economics, in which we are today covering unit 3, that's understanding supply in economics, or basically the topic supply. So introduction to supply. In a market economy, the demand side includes sellers of products and services. These can be individuals, firms, or even government. So supply refers to the amount of a good or service that producers are willing and able to offer at various prices over a given period of time. So there are some key points about supply. First, not necessarily sold. What is offered for sale might not get sold. Means you are offering for you have kept the goods for sale, but that doesn't mean that all the goods will be sold. Second, willingness and ability. Both are needed to supply a product heavily influenced by production cost. Third, flow of time. That is, supply is measured over a period of specific time, like per day, per year, per month, per week. Now there are some determinants of supply, that several factors besides the basic price that influence supply. First, price of the good. Higher price usually increases supply as they leads to higher profit. Example, if the price of wheat increases, farmers will be more motivated to grow wheat, leading to an increase in its supply. Second, price of related goods. If another goods price rises, it might shift resources towards that more profitable product. Example could be, if the price of sugarcane rises, Indian farmers may plant more sugarcanes instead of wheat, reducing wheat supply and increasing sugarcane supply. So it's a related product effect. Third, price of factors of production. Higher cost for resources like labor and material reduces supply. Example could be, an increase in labor cost might reduces the supply of handmade crafts because producers find it more expensive to produce the same quantity of goods. So it's a price effect. Fourth, technology. Advances can lower production cost and increases supply. Example for this is introduction of automated machineries in textile factories or increases cloth production, as machine can produce more fabric at a lower cost and at a faster pace than manual labor. Fifth could be government policies. Taxes, subsidies, and regulations significantly affect supply. Example could be, government subsidies for solar panels increases their supply by reducing production cost. Conversely, higher taxes on tobacco products might decrease their supply. Sixth, number of sellers. More sellers in the market increases the supply. Example, the entry of new smartphone brand in India increases the overall supply of smartphone, providing consumers with more options. Now here comes the law of supply. The law states that the quantity of a good supplied rises as the price rises and falls as the price falls, assuming all other factor remains constant. So this is important. The relationship is visually represented through a supply curve which slopes upward. So you can see I just took an image from Investopedia where we have plotted price and quantity, and you can see as we are increasing the price and the quantity has automatically been increased. So this is a positive moving upwards graph. So this is price 1, P1, price 2, price T, and these are quantities that are sold on price 1, quantity that is sold on price 2, and similarly quantity that is sold on price 3. So these are the 3 points based on our this is known as law of supply. So I have some examples for it, don't worry. First, movement on the supply curve. See, you can see a movement. Increase in quantity supplies occurs when a price rises. So when the price is increasing, the quantity is also increasing. Shows by an upward movement along the curve. Example, if the price of tomato increases from rupees 20 per kg to rupees 30 per kg, farmers will supply more tomatoes to take the advantage of the higher price. Second, decrease in quantity supplied occurs with the price fall shown by a downward movement along the curve. Example, if the price of the tomato falls from rupees 30 to rupees 215, farmers will supply fewer tomatoes since the profit margins are decreasing. So in our example, consider instead of P1 the price is to P2 and suddenly there is a decrease in price from P2 to P1, then the quantity will also be reduced, the supply quantity will be reduced from Q2 to Q1. The same is given in one more thing. Shift in supply curve, increase in supply represented by a rightward shift of the supply curve indicating more is supplied at each price. Example, a technological breakthrough in irrigation systems can increase agriculture yield, shifting the supply curve for crops to the rightward. Means there is some shift in supply curve, means the curve will be shifted upwards or downwards based on the situation. So in case when supplies are more at the same price, it will be shifted to upward movement. Similarly, decrease in supply, it is represented by a leftward shift of the I think I just it will move here right side in the first case and it will move in the left side in the second case. So just a minute. In case of increase, it will move to rightwards, and in case of decrease, it will move to leftwards or downwards. I also have one more graphical presentation, just this one. So this is original supply. In case of increase in supply, the curve will move rightward, and in case of decrease, the curve will move to backwards. So second is decrease in supply. It is represented by a leftward shift of the supply curve indicating less is supplied at each price. Example could be an increase in the cost of raw materials like cotton can decrease the supply of cotton textiles, shifting the supply curve to the leftward. So from this supply curve it will be shifted to the upward movement, means leftward. Now comes interesting topic, elasticity of supply. Elasticity of supply measures how responsive the quantity supplied is to a change in price. So it measures relationship between the change in quantity to change in price. So first comes perfectly inelastic supply, that is ES is equal to 0. We will calculate it by example. Just a minute. We will first cover the example, then go to the concept. Example for elasticity of supply. Scenario: if the price of commodity X increases from rupees 2000 to rupees 2100 and the quantity supplied increases from 2500 units to 3000 units, then we will calculate elasticity of supply as follows: equals to percentage change in quantity divided by percentage change in price. So quantity change is 3000 minus 2500, means latest quantity minus old quantity. Similarly, latest price divided by old price. So 3000 minus 2500 divided by 2500, we are calculating in percentage terms, divided by 2100 minus 2000, means difference in the prices, divided by old price. So it comes to 500 divided by 2500. Whole is divided by 100 by 2000. So it comes to 4. This indicates a relative greater elastic supply as the quantity supply changes more than proportionately to the price. So it is in a positive case. Now comes elasticity of supply. Elasticity of supply measures how responsive the quantity supplied is to a change in price. First, perfectly inelastic supply, that is ES equals to 0. So quantity supply doesn't change with price changes. In the example could be a unique price of art by a famous artist which can't be reproduced has a perfectly inelastic supply. Second comes relatively less elastic supply. So the elasticity would be between 0 to 1. So quantity supplied changes less than the proportionately to price changes. Once again, quantity supplied changes less than proportionately to price changes. Example could be agricultural products in the short term where crops cannot be immediately increased even if price increases. So the supply couldn't be increased, so they will be relatively less elastic. Third comes relatively greater elastic, so ES would be more than 1. So quantity supplied changes more than proportionately to price changes. Example could be manufacturing goods like electronics where production can be quickly scaled up in response to price increase. Then comes unit elastic supply, that is ES equals to 1, means quantity supplies changes exactly proportionately to price change. Example could be, suppose a factory can perfectly align its output to match price change, it would have unit elastic supply. And lastly, perfectly elastic supply, that is ES equals to infinity. Any small price change results in a infinite large change in quantity supplied. Example, a situation where suppliers are willing to supply any amount of a good at a specific price but not below the price, such as a perfect competitive market. So we already covered the elasticity example, it's a positive one for. So this indicates a relatively greater elastic supply as the quantity supplied changes more than proportionally to the price change. So it will be in our this third one, relatively. Now comes determinants of elasticity of supply. First, production cost. Lower cost means higher elasticity. Example, cost efficient tech like automated milking machines makes dairy supply more elastic because it's easier and cheaper to increase production. Second comes time period. Longer periods allow more adjustment, increasing elasticity. Example, over several years farmer can change crop based on market conditions, making agriculture supply more elastic. And third comes competition and entry barriers. More competition and fewer entry barriers increases elasticity. Example could be the entry of new smartphone manufacturers increases the elasticity of the supply in the smartphone market. I also have one more example. Let's look at the practical example of elasticity of supply in agriculture. Suppose a farmer grows wheat and observes the following change in price and quantity supply. So the price was 10 and the quantity supply was 100. When the price increased from 10 to 12, the quantity supplied increased from 100 to 130. Similarly, when the price again raised from 12 to 15, the quantity supplied also increased from 130 to 180. And finally, when the price almost doubled from the original price to 20, the quantity was 2.5 times, that is 250 kgs. So we can calculate the elasticity of supply between 2 points. For instance, for the first condition from 10 to 12, percent change in quantity supplied equals to 130 minus 100 divided by 100 by base price, that is 30%, and percentage change in price is 12 minus 10 divided by 10. So 12 minus 10 divided by 10 into 100 to make it percentage, it's 20%. So elasticity of the supply ES equals to 30% divided by 20%, it's 1.5. This indicates that the supply of wheat is relatively elastic in its price range. So this is the graph. So when you will see these are the points where it was its pricing point. So 100 quantities were sold at the price 10, then it increased to 120, 130, then it increased to 180, and then finally 250. Now comes market equilibrium. Market equilibrium occurs when the quantity demanded of a good is equal to the quantity supply at a particular price. At this point, the market clears, meaning there is no surplus or shortage of goods. The equilibrium price is where the demand and supply curves intersect, means it's a point where demand equals to supply, in one word. So continuing our example, these are the price. No, I think this is a little bit different example. So the price is we have prices from 10, 15, 20, 25 and 30. and we have respect to quantity demanded on the particular price. For 10 the quantity demand is 150, 120, 90, 60 and 30. Similarly, there is we have data for quantity supplied, that is in first case it is 50, then 80, then 90, then 120 and lastly 150. Also you can note that there is a common point where demand equals to supply. This is 90 equals to 90 at price 20. So we have some explanation for each of the price point. At rupees 10 per kg, the quantity supplied 150 far exceeds the quantity supplied. Quantity demanded 150 far exceeds the quantity supplied 50, creating a shortage. So there will be a shortage since demanded is 3 times of the supply. And then at rupees 15 per kg, the quantity demanded 120 per kg is greater than the quantity supplied 80, but the shortage is reduced compared to the earlier one. Then comes the price at rupees 20 per kg, the quantity demanded 90 is equals to the quantity supplied. This is the equilibrium price where the market clears. Now then comes the price at rupees 25 per kg, the quantity supplied is 120, exceeds the quantity demanded, creates a surplus. So now in the fourth case there will be surplus because quantity demanded is only 60, but we have quantity of 120. And lastly, at rupees 30 per kg, the surplus further increases with the quantity supplied 150 kg far exceeding the quantity demanded of 30. So it is almost 5 times. So there will be a huge surplus. Now this is the graph based on the data. So we have these are the supplied points. So earlier it was around, I think, supplied 50, 80, 90, 50, 80, 90, and this is the equilibrium point where demand equals to supply, and this is our supply curve and this is demand curve. Blue one is demand curve. We have some pointers for it. The demand curve slopes downward, indicating that as the price decreases, the quantity demand increases. So this is the demand one. The supply curve slope upward, so it is going upward direction, indicating that as the price increases, the quantity supply increases. And the point where the demand curve intersects the supply curve, it is market equilibrium. So just pardon me if I am spelling it wrong. Equilibrium. So this is the center point. Then comes a short topic: social efficiency. Social efficiency or allocative efficiency occurs when the resources are allocated in the most efficient way from society's point of view. It happens at the point where the social marginal benefit equals to the social marginal cost. So marginal benefit and marginal cost, we have an example for it. Public transport subsidies. In cities like Delhi and Mumbai, the government often subsidizes public transport to encourage its use. The social benefit of reduced traffic congestion and lower pollution levels is greater than the private cost incurred by the government in providing subsidies. So here the cost is not seen, but the greater impact is looked for. Now comes MG extras. Just like our previous video, we are having a short activity which will help you to understand some concepts better. So today's activity: visit a local market, observe and note the prices of a specific vegetable like tomatoes over a week. Record how prices fluctuate with the change in quantity available. This helps understand the supply dynamics and how market supply affects. Now coming to the conclusion, understanding the supply side of the market is crucial for both producers as well as policymakers. By examining how various factors influence supply, the elasticity of supply and practical applications, we gain a comprehensive view of how market operate. These insights help in making informed decisions, ensuring efficient production and meeting consumer demand effectively. That's it from the video. Thank you. Stay connected. Bye bye.